Ladies and gentlemen, can I have your attention, please? Well done. It should be someone else standing here, and shortly it will be, and so I can say, welcome to the evening of fine schoolmastering at Canberra Grammar School. The second of our performers tonight is Bill Maud. Bill Maud has been at the school since the headmaster was in kindergarten. And he's been involved in many fine performances in his many fields of expertise. When he leaves the school, he hopes to retire. But it's no surprise to learn that he might occupy his time with some community service or similar activities. Tonight he will be demonstrating his established skill at public speaking, and so any introduction should be very short. Bill was raised and schooled in Sydney. This is a multimedia presentation from me, and here comes our first picture. You can see a black and white photograph, maybe a little sepia tone, a smallish child, slim, shirt, shorts, and a bicycle with rather large wheels. In a suburb of single-storey houses, the 1950s in Sydney, where every adult would remember the Second World War, and teachers would be veterans of at least one. Bill also refers to retreads, retired teachers who'd been brought back into service because of the shortage with baby boomers. Look carefully at the photograph. No, that's not a moustache. It's a small, cheeky grin. Even at school, Bill knew that he would be a language teacher, the teacher of modern languages, and studied French, and as he might say, Latin. No German then. Into the 1960s, Bill's heart moves east to Balmain as he studies at Sydney University. Enter the German. Scholars and experts agree that this particular time in Bill's life can be identified as, in fact, the start of two things. One, shirts, and two, possibly moustaches. His growing interest in matters sartorial came to blossom, I think, rather well. Our next slide is in Polaroid-like colour of a slim young man in late 1960s attire, starting his teaching career at Condell Park High School, less than 1,000 feet from the end of Bankstown Aerodrome. Bill believes that few of the aircraft were biplanes. The early 70s saw Bill travel to Europe. Did he visit Carnaby Street while he was teaching at a school that might have been the model for the book To Sow with Love? We're not sure, but I believe we're reasonably confident. His main reason, of course, was to be in Europe to study in Germany, which he did. And fortunately, unlike many other young Australians, Bill decided to return home. Picture his return in an embroidered sheepskin coat from Afghanistan as he travelled overland on that return journey. Luck would see Bill spotting a small ad for an unspecified, really, job in Canberra, which brought him to Canberra Grammar School. Now we see a still slim man, blonde hair parted, moustache in place, bright with shirt, still smiling, but also sensible about work, teaching in the Modern Languages department. And like all young things at Canberra Grammar School at the time, Bill was carefully matched to a suitable co-curricular activity, like cricket, or rugby, or rowing, and he enjoyed them all, showing great skill. And again, we were lucky when Bill found debating, came home to debating in essence. In the next decade, Bill's many skills were recognised. There were more trips to Europe. He held many posts of responsibility, including one where he was known as Just More, a sort of title without being a title at the time. A competent and sharp director of studies took the helm. The 1990s saw Bill the family man with Patricia, Simon and then Andreas. Now the picture is of a maturing man, still slim, with stroller or walking to work with a beret on the top. A question just pops to mind. Does Andreas yet sport a small moustache? I wouldn't be surprised. Still doing a grand job at school, Bill settled in for the long haul. More recently, another trip, a move to human resources, and another 5 years of sterling service. Bill has some faults. A reading of the style guide for Canberra Grammar School reporting will see clearly an urge to capitalise the first letters of all nouns. We understand. While tonight belies the fact, a clear lurch to the right has also been observed, at least in matters sartorial. There was at least one occasion that taxed Bill's sense of humour quite severely. This is not the first farewell for Bill, and in a previous one it was noted that he and his house guest voted for different political parties. Thus, 18 Bailey Place contributed nothing to that election. The problem came, the point having been made, that some of the boys assumed that Bill had voted Liberal. Now it is time to be quite serious. Bill's integrity. He has for a long time had a code of moral and ethical behaviour, formed in large part by himself. He's not known sometimes as Captain Sensible for nothing. We can tap into this code. Just say WWBD. What would Bill do? He is what we hope the boys can learn to be. Someone willing to speak when there is a need, not a bystander. At a recent meeting of the influential Canberra Grammar School think tank, sometimes known as the Whiskey Group, old stories of CGS were being told and retold and enjoyed. Stories eased into gossip. Bill gently chided us without any damage done, and decorum was restored. Absolutely masterful. Ladies and gentlemen, prepare yourself for a little toast, and I will. A toast to a very fine schoolmaster indeed, Bill Moore.